guys, welcome to TechStories Uncut. It's the session of the show where we get to talk about anything and everything that we couldn't say on the main podcast. Today, Mary Agbo is joining us for this Uncut session. All right, Mary, let's dig in. Feel free to be chill. This is an Uncut session. We probably wouldn't do any sort of editing of stuff. But so it's as you go. I wanted to, just start off by asking something I like asking my female guests on the show. I know on the main show you talked about how when you got into this tech space, you were surrounded by guys, like it was all, your colleagues were all male, and maybe it still is till today. But knowing how male dominated tech is and how society's image and understanding of who a geek, when they say geek, all these people, an image that comes to your head is, hey, one guy, wearing sweater or a hoodie and typing keyboard, and he knows everything about the computer and keyboard. you know yeah, so knowing how that's what society's image of what a geek is. Have you ever, as a woman, at any point in time, in your career or in your journey in tech, have you ever, as a woman, had to maybe tone down your femininity, like maybe the things you normally like to do as a woman, maybe fashion, if you're someone who likes dressing up, and if you're a fashionable person, you have to, at some point, you had to kind of stop doing this kind of stuff because you wanted to be taken seriously like your male counterparts. So have you ever had experience something like that, or have you ever thought of something like that? And if you did, or if you have experienced something like that, how did you overcome it? Because I think a lot of aspiring female, tech enthusiasts will want to know how to tackle things like that. So, did you ever experience that? Or?
Okay, so I would say one thing that actually, amongst so many others, that actually attracted me to tech was the simple lifestyle of dressing the way you want. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually not a fan of dressing seriously. For people who know me a lot, I feel stressed. Like to dress up is just stressful for me.
Okay. Okay.
So when I see the whole jean and t-shirt and hoodie, sneakers, I'm like, okay, I think I'll be welcome here. So it was
Okay.
basically, yeah,
No, I'm saying, okay, interesting, interesting.
yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, it was just my personality matching with the whole idea of how techie is. Okay,
Okay.
so but I have been in spaces where girls, I'm talking about tech space where girls still dress the way every feminine girl should dress, like the way
Mm-hmm.
everybody knows girls dress. You understand? So
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a matter of choice anyway. If you
Right.
dress that way, you won't be persecuted. If you dress hoodie, you won't be persecuted. I think it's a matter of choice.
Right.
So for me, I love the whole hoodie. What?
Okay. 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 That's cool. Okay. So you've never felt like you've had to maybe, not paint your nails or, like put lipstick because, these are things that will make you look less serious, like as a tech person, you've never had to think like that, like you've never been in a situation where you were forced to do things like that, or think like that, just maybe by yourself. It's not like someone is going to come and tell you, oh, don't paint your nails, or don't put lipstick, or just because you need to be taken seriously, seen seriously, or seen as a geek, like you've never had to do all this kind of stuff, or no?
No, I actually paint my nails and I do all these things you mentioned, but
Okay.
they are all just done on few occasions. Most of
Okay.
the time, I'm more like the jean t-shirt hoodie type.
Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Cool. All right. That's cool. Um, Yeah, one thing I also know about you is that you love blogging. I mean, you even mentioned it on the main podcast. That one thing you do outside of tech is blogging. So where did this come about? Are you inspired by Linda KG, or like what's up with this? Um, what's the passion? Why the passion for blogging, and what's the interest? What interests you the most rather about blogging?
Okay. So like I said before now, I basically want people out there to know that whatever it is they are going through, whatever field it is they are actually going through, they're not in it alone. There are so many people out there also going through same thing that they should share on, and push a little, and things will soon be fine. Okay, there'll definitely be light at the end of the tunnel. So
Right.
it's partly from whatever it is that was actually going on in my life, and
Mm-hmm.
I saw the need to also let people know that life actually can be better, because at some point I tend to look back,
Mm-hmm.
and I kind of smile, and I feel happy that I've really come this far. The
Mm-hmm.
growth is evident. I alone know that it has not been easy.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel I saw the need to actually put that story out there
Right.
to let people know that life journey it's never easy. So
Mm-hmm.
don't be fooled. Okay, it's never easy.
Mm-hmm.
People work hard for it. So when you see people successes, just know that there are a lot of hard work that has actually been put into it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So it's really part of your whole motivating personality, the Mary, the motivator, the person that likes motivating people and and stuff. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, that's cool. No, no, it's a good reason for blood. I think it's nice. Yeah. Cool. All
Thank
right.
you.
All right, Mary, let's talk about it, man. This one, I've been waiting for this one. So for those who don't know, Mary wrote a very interesting I will call it a post. I won't call it an article, but it's more like a post on LinkedIn. I'm going to put a link to that LinkedIn post on this video or on this session of the podcast. But I'll read a little bit. I'm not going to read everything. I'll read a little bit of that post for people so that people can get the context of the conversation we're about to have. So Mary, about a couple of, I think, weeks or maybe months ago, on her LinkedIn post, Mary wrote something that was about working for passion and stuff like that. I like to look at it as a redefinition, our own definition of what passion is. So the post starts off saying, while working for, so this is me reading Mary's post. So she says, while working for passion, remember bills. One of the advice we give to young people is to chase their passion. There is nothing wrong with passion, except that background affects passion. For example, a child that grew up in the farm may think his passion is farming, and while a child that grew up in the city will assume his passion is computer. Today, while one is earning in dollars, living in his duplex, the other is threatened with unemployment or insecurity and invasion. Is anything wrong with farming? But tax pays my bill. When the landlord comes, he does not care whether you pursued your passion or not. The bills have to be paid. So I guess, I'm going to stop there, but I guess, my, I don't know. My first thought is what are you trying to get across with this post? What were you trying to get across with that post? Um, because I have some opinions myself. But this is where we get to talk and disagree, chit chat and all of that. But yeah, what was the message you were trying to get across with that post?
Okay, so I was basically trying to let people know that having passion it's something very good, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But they should be able to draw the line between a passion,
Mm-hmm.
okay, that
Mm-hmm.
pays big, and a passion that actually doesn't pay big.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you at some point you have to make sacrifices,
Mm-hmm.
for the noun. Okay, I've seen a lot of people who actually have passion for singing, but they don't have the resources to fund their career as a musician.
Mm-hmm.
So they do other things, and then when they became good, and then the other things they do started bringing in money and taking care of their bills, and
Mm-hmm.
they dived into music, and they did very well. So I'm like, okay, so that's basically the scenario I was actually trying to paint. why I was talking about patient on this particular post. Passion,
Okay.
sorry,
Okay,
that post.
okay,
Yeah.
then okay, yeah, that makes sense to me, because I read it a couple of times, at first when I just first read it, it came across as if my understanding was it seemed like it was more like, oh, your passion is something that should, be based on how much money, or wealth that it can bring. But I think
Oh,
that
okay.
but I think that what you're saying here now is it's only a temporary thing to do things that you're not passionate about, just so that you have that backup funds and that capital, to pursue other passionate ventures, other things that you're really passionate about in the future. So for example, let's say I'm passionate about farming, right? But I know that I don't have the money now, and I can't live off farming right now because farming is not going to pay my bills, and I won't be able to do anything so much with farming. But right now, why don't I don't know, just go and do some tech job, that can pay some good bills, and then that could pay a lot of money, and then I can save that money, I can keep that money, put a lot of it in reserves, and then use it to fund my farming passion, right? I think that's what you're trying to say here now with this post, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Because yeah, if that's the idea, then I agree with it. I really I am wholeheartedly and 100% on board with that, because at some point, I think when I first read it, it came across as if it was more of your passion is really determined by how much money it can bring, that venture can bring. And I was more thinking like, oh, that seems more like hustle to me, because hustle is trying out different things just to make more money or make money, and that's more of a hustle than a passion to me, but again, that was just my opinion though. But I think it's much clearer now, and it makes more sense now to me, now that you put it like that. Yeah, yeah, okay, cool. Oh, cool. Okay. Then there's not much to say then about that, because I think I at some point I was understanding it quite differently, and I think you've really helped clear things up. But was there any and you don't have to share any private stories or personal stories if you don't want to, but what were you going through? Was there something that inspired this post, or was there something you personally experienced that made you write, or maybe a friend's experience or something that made you write this post? What were you thinking? What was your mind when you were thinking about a post like this? Were you just thinking about the world and how things work and how we have been institutionalized about how we see money and stuff? Or what were you going through? What was going through your mind rather?
Okay, so honestly speaking, I actually lost my dad I think 6 years back. So but from that point in my life, it was not actually something easy for me. So
Mm,
personally, I actually love singing. So there are a lot of people out there actually that they have people that can actually back them up in
mhm,
terms of whatever it is they want to do in life.
mhm,
Why there are other people that have to fight their way, work harder, you know, to their way top.
mhm,
Okay, so I think for me that was it for me. Okay, so I knew at this point it was just me, myself, and
right.
and I have to do everything possible to be able to be on my own feet and
Mhm,
make things work. You
mhm,
know,
mhm,
so basically, that was actually, I won't say because of I love singing.
mhm,
I should keep trying music. You know, and the thing is, the honest truth is I don't actually believe in eating today. I actually believe in sacrificing not eating for today so that I
mhm.
can eat forever tomorrow.
Right, right.
Okay. Yeah.
Mm,
So that's actually my belief. So when I looked at it, I checked the pros and cons, and I'm like, there is nothing. It's never too late to actually chase your dreams, your
right,
passion. But for now, you have to pay bills. You have bills to pay, and
right.
you've got to know. So So that was my push.
So
That
you
was
just
what actually about this.
right. Makes sense. No, that makes sense. So you just have to do what you have to do to, pay the bills and maybe have that reserve income or that saving so that you can later pursue that passion of yours, whether it's singing, whether it's drawing, whether it's farming. That's really what you were really saying here, right?
Yeah, but the good thing here is that while I've been going through this, it's actually it's something. It became fun for
hmm
me,
hmm
just like singing or any other thing I love doing.
hmm
Actually, it's always been fun. This started, so it's much easier for me to flow in it and all that. So it's actually became fun for me.
Right.
I currently love what I'm doing anyway right now.
Yeah. No, that's interesting. Like that. I guess that's another benefit of doing things like that, right? Sometimes, the hustling you were trying to do becomes the main interest. Becomes the thing that becomes. So, for example, if doing tech was a hustle for you just to make money and so that you can use it to fund your passion, and now you've that hustle has become like something you're even very interested in, and it has even become a passion. So that's beautiful, man. Like that's awesome. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it goes also to say that sometimes that's in order to find that passion, you actually have to try different things. So there is no harm, there's no loss. It's a win-win. You try out
Yeah,
different
sure.
things and you get to find that passion of yours, that one thing that interests you. So will we be seeing a Mary single dropping anytime soon in the future? Like
Okay, for that, I if at all I'm to sing someday, I think it's something that I will do for fun. I'm
okay,
actually enjoying my whole journey in tech, so I think
okay,
that should be my
okay.
thing. For now, anything pertaining singing would definitely be for fun.
Yeah, well, I'm always, some buttons away, man. Like if you need backup singers, man, I'll jump. So okay, all right, man. Mary, I know you're a busy woman. You have to, head out of here. Well, enjoy the rest of your day, and once again, thank you for coming through, on the main podcast, and thank you for coming to this Uncut sessions. And we are out, guys. Thanks again for tuning in, everyone. And yeah, thank you, Mary. Bye.
You're welcome, Chaz. Bye.